Chapter 18, Part 1, A Pair of Crowns. How could Pearl summon the unicorn? Then she had an interesting idea. The path had opened because she'd gotten rid of her negative thoughts. Maybe in this darkest of dark places, the unicorn's path would also open with positive thoughts. It was worth a shot. Pearl closed her eyes and cleared all the scary pictures from her mind. She conjured the things that made her feel warm and safe. Fluffy pancakes, bird nests, leprechaun slippers, hot cocoa, her parents tucking her in at night. A soft, warm puff of air blew across her hand. Slowly, she opened her eyes. Before Dr. Wu moved to Buttonville, there were 3 moments in Pearl's life that she loved better than any others. The first time she found a bird nest. The first time she pulled back her pillow to discover that the Tooth Fairy had visited, and the first time she rode a pony. This moment topped them all. The puff of air that touched Pearl's hand came from the soft muzzle of the unicorn foal. She stood so close that Pearl could have petted her silky white mane and touched her spiral horn. But Pearl didn't. She sat very still, afraid to scare the little creature, who was only a couple of feet tall. The unicorn's hind legs trembled. That was when Pearl noticed that she held her right front hoof slightly above the ground. She'd been injured. "Don't be scared," Pearl wanted to say. "Dr. Wu will help you." Pearl held out her hand, the way you do with a dog you don't know. The foal smelled her, then bent her head as the Unicorn King had bent his. Pearl bowed in return. She could have sat there all day gazing upon this beautiful creature, but Maximus Steele wanted that horn, and there was no way Pearl was going to let him have it. Slowly Pearl stood. Then, keeping her hand closed around the fireflies, she slid her arms under the unicorn's belly and lifted. She smiled, happy to discover that the foal wasn't any heavier than a basket of laundry. With silent speed, she began to retrace her steps. At least that's what she hoped. But as she searched for yellow yarn, she found none. "Don't panic," she told herself, instinct pulling her forward. She was certain she'd come this way, certain she'd find a piece of yarn. Never slowing her pace, Pearl ran and ran. The unicorn was warm against her chest, its heart beating as fast as a bird's. Pearl wanted to tell the little creature that everything would be okay. But how could she be sure? What if they were lost? What if the giant moth dove down from the clouds and carried the foal away? Doubt filled Pearl's mind. Her arms began to throb. "Not much farther. Keep going." Just as she thought she might drop the unicorn, a voice called from the darkness, "Pearl, we can see the bobbing light. We're over here." The words vibrated through the darkness. Although Pearl was happy to hear Ben's voice, she knew the loud sound would bring danger. Roots ripped from the ground, and a stomping arose. Ben's voice had woken the flesh-eaters. Though she had little strength left, Pearl took a huge breath and pumped her legs. There had been no flesh on the metal trap, but there was plenty to be found on a girl and a unicorn. Ben was near. His voice was her path. "Pearl!" A blaze of light hit Pearl's eyes as she burst into the tangled forest. "Get back," Dr. Wu warned, stepping between Pearl and the dark wall. A flesh-eater poked out of the darkness, its petals snapping like jaws. Dr. Wu aimed a spray bottle, and a steam of liquid shot at the flower. The petals began to sizzle, and the plant retreated with a hissing sound. For a moment, all was quiet.